positive, something that's uplifting people, empowering people.
I try to be political.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're in there now.
Well, we're not going to do an intro. I'm Natalie. You should know at this point, whatever. Angel and Frances. And we're going to get straight to the conversations.
No.
Oh, we're not?
First, we're not.
Oh,
Only
okay,
because
go.
I used to do this thing and I wanted to do it with you guys. And the first thing is to ask each one of you how you're doing before the podcast begins.
Oh, he does that on his, yeah.
So yeah, so you're the one who doesn't give a fuck about people. Okay. So how are you, Natalie?
I'm okay. Like I told you when you texted me, I'm okay. I don't feel like I have any strong emotions towards anything right now. I'm just feeling very calm, and I don't know. I'm just trying not to stress shit. I'm putting my energy into like productive things, and I'm just trying to stay positive. Because I think now with the weather, I'm getting a little, like, I don't know. Do you guys get seasonal depression? Because I'm getting a little down.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I always say it's because the lack of vitamin D, the lack of sun we get in the summer, even if we don't want to. We're driving and we're getting sun on us, at least while we're commuting places.
Yeah.
In the winter, we're getting nothing. We're getting clouds on us.
Yo, that's a thing. Like I was always like, yo, you feel different. Like you literally just feel different.
100%.
In the springtime, summertime, you come out and you're like, what a wonderful day. In the winter, you're like, let's get this shit over with.
Let's get it over with.
Running
I'm
to
tired.
your car, can't wait till the heat kicks in. Sucks.
Yeah, like you don't even, I feel like you appreciate life more in the spring and the summer because you actually slow down and you're like, oh shit, the trees. Oh my God, the sun feels so good. I haven't felt warm outside.
In the winter, you put your chin down, hands in pockets, and you're like, let me get the fuck home. Sir, how are you?
Oh man, I'm amazing. I was thinking about how the same thing with the summertime. I lost my train of thought. Let's cut that part out.
No. Well, I did want to say.
I really had something in mind that I wanted to say.
Well, maybe this might remind you because I was thinking of that too, like the seasons. Like I was telling you, I don't know if we spoke about it, but my therapist was telling me not to feel bad for how I feel. Because she's like, this is the time where we really should be resting, but unfortunately we can't. We have to work.
Right.
But like, essentially, if you look at most of the animals, they hibernate, they rest. We're the only species that like go, keep going. And she's like, this is a time where you should be relaxing. Save your energy. Springtime comes. You already know you're going to have the energy. You're going to want to be outside. Like, just enjoy the rest right now.
I remember what I was going to say. I'm actually happy where I'm at because when I wasn't living a productive life, like even just, let's say, potting once a week, that keeps my mind going, that keeps me productive, that keeps a weekly goal for myself. When I wasn't productive and I didn't have a weekly goal, what was I really doing with my life when I think back? What was my goal? What was I was just living and just going by and everything was just, it was like autopilot. So now that I really realized that, I'm really appreciative of that. So I'm very good today. I'm very happy to be here, especially potting because I love this shit.
Of course.
So I'm happy to be here. I love it. I had the crazy brain fart a second ago, but
you got it. See, we jogged it back. It came back.
It's a thing I like to ask only because for that same reason, like you this is something that I've already grown to look forward to on Wednesdays. I'm sure you have, and you stated yourself that you do. It's like a goal and something to look forward to, and I think you need something to look forward to in order to keep you positive of the future. You're like, okay, I'm going to do this. Whenever you have a trip or whenever like the holidays are coming up or whatever the case is, your birthday, you have something like, okay, you're looking forward to something, you're working to something, whether it's saving or getting your outfit or whatever the case is. I think that provides, I'm not super knowledgeable of the terms or whatever the case is, but I'm sure that provides some type of like chemical makes you feel good and to some degree because you're looking forward to something as opposed to being like, okay, I just got to follow my daily routine, go to work, do this and that. And especially if it's something productive, it makes it better because you feel like you accomplished something once you do. So thank you guys for letting me know how you are.
Thanks for asking.
Speaking of time off and it being winter and how we never catch a break, everything is go, go, go. Work-wise, where you guys at?
What do you mean work?
At your job?
I am completely disconnected from my job. Like completely checked out, over it, drained. Like I am just, it's like, I feel like I'm a completely different person when I'm there. It doesn't even feel like me.
It's almost like you segued into our first topic.
Well, it's being a professional.
Yeah, of course.
Be professional.
Yeah. But it's like not fulfilling.
Of course it's not.
No.
It's just paying the
what do you
bills.
do for work anyway? I don't even know. I don't know.
He's
You
a
don't have to get
street-level
too
pharmacist.
specific. Because do you know what I do?
You're a speech therapist?
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
speech therapist. You do human resources?
Yes, at a home care agency.
Yes.
I work at an electrical company
Mm.
dealing with the electrical permits and Con Edison.
Oh, okay, nice.
Oh, that's a
I'm
grown-up
just,
job.
Just
Fuck.
dealing
It's
with
a grown-up job.
dealing with a lot of construction sites and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But you're like talking to people like every day?
It's a lot of paperwork actually.
Oh, okay.
A lot of filing permits and all that good stuff.
Oh.
Dealing with building departments in the city.
How do you get through your workday? Like, how does that, you know what I mean? Like, what do you do to keep a positive attitude? I just try to it's good that I work with kids because kids are always like happy and energetic. So I kind of just like try to absorb that a little bit and just play around with them.
I try to bring it down to what we really are here for, and we're here on earth to be productive. We're supposed to be productive with ourselves, our neighbor, and in society. So if your job is something decent like that, you're helping kids out. I'm dealing with electricity. Everybody needs electricity. Something bad happens and a fire happens, a flood happens. I'm there to set something up.
Yeah.
So you're helping kids with speech. What is it that you do?
I help people get home care services. So I deal with
There you go.
basically caregivers of all ages. They're typically like older ladies, but so yeah, I get what you're saying. I feel good too. Like
I try to
trust
tap
me.
into that. So what are we really doing every day? Is it even helpful to society?
Mhm.
Right.
Because if it's not, then it's not really fulfilling. You're not really doing anything productive.
Right.
Any job sucks because we don't want to do it consistently every day. We'd rather be chilling some days. We want to just stay home if it's cold outside, blah,
Yeah.
blah. But if it's fulfilling, I think that's what helps me get through the day.
Yeah.
It's actually helping someone. Something is being productive. Something is growing because of this. It's not no bullshit job.
Yeah.
That's what gets me through every day.
Right.
How about you?
It's some days you're just kind of like over it. You feel like you're on autopilot,
Mm-hmm.
and you like Francesca said, I try to fall into the habit that even when I'm not in the mood, I know that that's temporary, and I try to act how I know that I really would want to act. At one point, the person I know was like, "Oh, but it's not kind of fake because you're kind of in the mood for something else, but you act one way." I'm like, technically, it's not. It may not be my instant response or what I want to do instantly, but if I take a second and think about it, I'm like, when you feel good or you're 100%, you're gonna wish you did this way.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like doing it how I actually would. But yeah, some days it's a bit hard, and like when you work with children, I work with like usually patients and elderly people. So it requires an obnoxious amount of patience.
Mm-hmm.
And some days, like I keep a brave face, and I'm typically good at it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a patient person, but
What gets you through the day?
knowing that, like, as much as I went through helping this person, I know that eventually I'm literally helping somebody get a job. I'm helping another person receive care in their home that they may need.
Being
Yeah.
helpful.
That's
yeah,
true.
and at the end of the day, the best part of it is like I get Spanish old ladies all the time. They can't write well or they can't read or whatever the case is. When they're so grateful for me, having the patience and helping them through it, so they recognize like they're probably uncomfortable too.
Yeah.
Because it's something primarily in English. On top of that, it's so much paperwork.
And they're just
some of them
older.
can't write
Like,
well. Some of them can't see well. Some of them can't read. So they understand. So that's what keeps me through. And I'm like, if I'm maybe frustrated here, imagine how frustrated they are.
mm-hmm.
They probably feel like, man, I feel like, and I get this all the time. They're like, tú sabes que yo soy bruta. Like, I'm done with this. And I literally stop them every time. I'm like, don't say that. Because like, you're good. You need help with something. I'm sure there's something you can do that I can't do. That I would probably be like, I feel dumb. So
Yeah.
Being useful is the
yeah.
answer, I believe. How do you feel about that?
So yeah, I agree with that, especially like when they're older. I always think of like, what if this was my mom or my dad and they needed help from someone younger, let's just say. I would hope that person would be nice to them, So I always think about it like that. So even when I feel like I'm losing my patience a little, I'm like,
you
relax.
regain it, yeah.
It's not that serious. Like, just chill. Just go through it. Like, time is going to pass regardless. So what are you really in a rush for anyway? Like, just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just don't want to be, I think I was just, okay. So like growing up, I was very asocial. So, but I'm also not a morning person. I'm not a morning person. So I would wake up at like 5 a.m. with my mom. and we would go to the bus stop, and like the neighbors would be there waiting for the bus too. My mother's very like, oh, good morning. And I'm like rock music
My mom.
blasting. I'm like, typical
She was
teenager.
one of those girls.
Yeah, like it's too fucking early. It is 6:30. We waiting for this motherfucking bus. Like,
But shouldn't it be like a rule? Like if it's
No,
too
it
early,
should.
if it's too early, bro,
it
just
should.
keep it to a minimum.
I feel like before 10 a.m. is a crime. Anything before 10 a.m.
I'd even
I
give him.
hate it.
I'd give him a chance. I'd say 9 is fine. But anything before 9 is like, OD. Those cab drivers who be ready to talk your ear off in the morning,
Music
bro.
ready to go. Like, come
Literally.
on.
But that's probably like your 5 a.m. is probably
Right.
their
Of course.
Oh, that's true.
They're up earlier. They're
And
not
I-
doing
early,
it
yeah.
earlier.
Yo, I have these moments of grace, bro, and I'm kind of like, oh, this man is gonna talk to me. But then I'm like, you know what?
You know-
I look out the window and I'm like, this man probably driving around all day. There are a few people that he can probably talk to and he feels like, comfortable with.
No,
I'm
it
like-
ain't me, boo boo.
Come on.
Keep it quiet.
Yo, it's all about love.
Natalie,
and it's all
being a
about
great
love
person.
and positivity.
I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna do like the active listening. Like, oh, really? Oh, okay. Nice. Like, just chill.
It's all
Yeah, but if
about
you see
love
the
and
AirPods
positivity.
in, man, help.
You gotta
No,
be
of
positive.
course, of course.
You gotta be positive in anything.
Yeah,
If you're grateful from the time you wake up, you're starting your day positive. That's what it is. You
I
gotta
am
be more positive
almost
and
I
where
feel
you are,
like
yeah.
intentional
oh,
in everything.
fuck. Ugh.
Everything.
he's right.
Fuck.
I know that it's
No,
not
but now-
normal. It's not a natural instinct.
No,
we
but
hate
now
it.
I feel like a
We're
bad.
warm. We're warm in our bed. We want to sleep a little more. It's cold outside. We don't want to do none
Yeah,
of that.
for sure.
But the right thing to do is to be grateful from the time our eyes open to the time we get in the cab to the time we go onto the cold. We're appreciative to be.
I respect the fuck out of you right now. I just wanna
That's
let you know.
really what it's about.
Sounds great.
That's
She's
why.
like, no,
that's
not
why
having
Sounds
it.
great.
That's probably why your mom was chipper in the morning.
No, but she would get at me. She'll be like, Natalie, like, you look like a beast. She'll be like, I can't believe I raised such a beast.
You know Dominican moms, if you have a straight face, they're
Una
like,
bestia. Like, my mother would go in.
they're like, just hit me, why don't you? With that face.
But she'll be like, you have to be nice. Like, it matters how you carry yourself, and you have to be polite
Natalie
and
trying
blah,
to
blah,
smirk
blah.
like,
And I'm just like, oh my God. But when I started really working with people, and I was a cashier in Costco, so like I was getting mad complaints from my attitude.
I'm dead.
Shocker. But
We would
but
never expect
I would
that.
just be with a serious face. And then it's like, don't ask me no dumbass questions. Like, I'm gonna give you an attitude. But I was young and I had to learn how to grow out of that. And it's like, no, be respectful. Even when they are being an asshole, I'm like, okay, no problem.
Oh,
Manager.
You really are, Brad.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Reformed.
You just gotta be
Reformed.
professional. You just gotta be professional.
have you guys
So
ever-
were you all like that when you were young? Were you always polite
I was
growing
always
up?
polite.
Oh, I
I
can see
promise.
that.
I was
I
a
can
Yeah,
see
psycho.
my mom.
I just became this way.
See what I
of being
mean? It's
social
not
and
for
polite.
everybody.
I
The
was,
fear,
I was
it
ridiculous.
came naturally. Of all my siblings, I think I'm probably the nicest one, except for my youngest sister. But
I'm the meanest one.
it came, wow.
Yeah.
I can't even
I
see
can
that,
see
bro.
Because I'm so
I can
black
see
and
that.
white and just yes, no, I'm annoyed, I'm happy, keep that away, bring this closer. I'm so blah, 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 blah. It rubs everybody the wrong way.
The fear I had of my mother of like she was always very like much about manners and
Mhm.
morals and stuff. And I was always like she was big on that, dude. Like it's so bad when you remember certain instances when like you are the way that you are, because I am, right? And I remember certain times that like, let's say I hold the door open, and I remember that one time, which is a true story, I guess. I didn't hold the elevator door for my sister, and I was playing with her, and I kind of pushed it at her. My mom, with her knuckle like that, dude, just rammed me in the back of my head, and she's like, she's
I
a
know
woman.
that.
You hold the door open, whether it's the president's wife or a prostitute, women are women you respect.
And you still remember
And I
that to
said,
this day.
absolutely, because it dolio, bro. That shit hurt. I was like, God damn. It hurt so bad. She instantly grabbed my head and rubbed it. She said, I'm sorry.
Don't you
I overdid
love
it."
how parents correct violence with violence?
Yes.
Isn't that great? Isn't that just
If you
fantastic?
fall and hit yourself, I'm going to hit you.
I'm always mind blown because it's like, and you expect us not to be violent? That's crazy.
It's to make that moment stick in your head.
Oh, it sticks.
Don't
It
do
sticks.
that again.
I've held every single
It
door ever
sticks.
since. Have you
I
guys,
respect that.
speaking of jobs and disconnecting,
Mm-hmm.
have you ever thought about pursuing something different?
Oh,
something
hell
else.
yeah.
This
Podcasting.
event plan. Now I'm into event planning. I want to plan all type of events. I am like so into that right now. Yeah, like I'm so, but I'm okay with keeping what I have and doing these things as like side for now as a passion. But if I could ever make this a full-time thing where I could really live off of this, that would be great. I would leave my real
I'm going
job.
to channel my inner Frances. Why don't you?
I'm scared. And I'm not, listen, times is rough. I want my bills paid. I want to eat. Like, I don't want that struggling artist life right now. I'm like not trying to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to starve either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what stops me.
Doesn't sound good, man.
No. And we both up to eat.
Yeah. Oh,
The three of us.
man.
The
Trust me.
three, right.
Yeah.
So no,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. How about you? Do you want to do something else?
Yes.
Okay.
If there are two things that I enjoy, I think that I would be like, but they're both require like, one is a struggling artist and the other
Mhm.
is just like a bunch of work that I don't think I want to do right now. I've always really much enjoyed speaking to people and trying to listen to them, help them with their issues.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought about it until recently, but like some sort of
You want to be like psychologist?
psychology or
I would
like,
love it if you did that.
like, I
Me,
feel like
I would love it for you.
It's like I only have one client. And she's
No, because
one
I
patient.
think psychology is fascinating. I wish that I would have went into that as well.
Mhm.
So if I could live through you, that would be fantastic.
I really enjoy.
Teach me everything
I
you
enjoy
learn.
people, like as much as they can be tight. Don't get me wrong,
Of course.
but I feel like I always try to find that like attach yourself to them, or at least try to put yourself in their shoes at some
Mhm.
point. I could find an absolute ass when I'm just like, you know what, they probably been through some shit, or they have a reason for being the way that they are. I try to not affect how I am.
Yeah.
Like coñazo.
But how far you want to take it? You mean like going to school to get a
No,
degree for it?
it's just been a thought. It's never been like,
Alright.
like you know, like an actual. I just thought about it because I constantly do it for free, basically.
So let me tell you something that's more tangible for the both of, or for all three of us. That is something tangible in a sense where you're already making content. Both of you are already making content, and what you've been through and what has worked for you, you just make a video about it or a blog about it or any type of post about it, and you express your genuine experience, and
Mhm.
someone else will relate to that,
Yeah.
or learn from it, or gain some type of.
That's what I do with you guys
Yeah.
every Wednesday.
Yeah.
So just put it out there. If you don't want to go to
Mhm.
school for it, but you want to help people, part of building your brand is showing the people what you've been through, what I overcame, and this is what helped me overcome it.
Yeah, that
That's
is
the
true.
thing, though, brother. The transparency, I'm very iffy about it. I'm genuine as
Bro,
they
you're in
come,
front of the
but
camera being
transparency.
yourself.
Right, you're doing it now.
But how
You're
much?
not
But
fake here. Are you being fake this whole
absolutely
time?
not. But definitely not. Like you know how people are like, I'm entirely transparent.
Yeah, I think there's a way to do it though, where you can still make it relatable as you
Mhm.
can, but still keep your privacy at the same time.
I kind of do, which leads me to the second thing that I've
Pick like one thing to help people on. Literally,
Right.
there's
Yeah,
so
one
many
thing.
niches in the world. If you pick one thing that you're good at, just going or not. Like
This
Yeah,
is
if you want to
perfect.
like
teach
my thing
people
would be
about
self care
podcasting,
completely.
Right.
I would always just focus on self care, mental self care, body, all that. But you could deal like there's people who just focus on anxiety, people who struggle
Mhm.
with anxiety and depression and things
even
like
though I
that.
just
So
had
yeah,
a podcast,
Right.
you
Yeah.
can literally just coach
Yeah.
people on this all day.
I
Everything,
found
every
a-
small niche is
I think that's
something
why
you
I
can help
write,
people
bro.
with.
Like writing is the second thing that I've ever
Yeah,
thought
but
about.
poetry is different though. To
And-
help people, you have to really write things out and
Of
drag
course.
things out and dig deep to tap into people. Because
Yeah.
poetry is beautiful because
Mhm.
people can relate to it. You know, it sounds good, it looks good, but to help people is deeper than poetry.
No, of course. What I mean is that is a subtle way of like kind of exposing myself and having people, because the DMs I get are crazy. They're like, yo, I went just through this. Does not like it. I've actually had a good amount of people like they're like, yo, I felt that way. I just never knew how to express it or put it into words until you did, and then I was able to like tap into that. And I'm like, that's the dopest shit. Like it's art to me, but it's also a piece of
100%.
myself. You know, so I find that's and especially with stuff like, you know, people, they're typically lovey-dovey, as you know. So people kind of don't know how to, I think that's the toughest area for some people, where they don't know how to express themselves to their partner or express themselves about their partner or ex-partner, whatever the case may be. So I think I enjoy that very much. Have you ever thought, other than podcasting, anything has ever crossed your mind?
Cross my mind what?
Like anything,
another passion of yours you
another
were pursuing.
career,
Oh,
another
hell yeah. Too many things. Music, engineering, videography, photography. I've tried so many things. Painting, I paint.
Mhm.
I do so many.
That's dope.
I've tried a lot of different things. I love them all, and I still do I dabble in all of them because none of them are paying the bills yet.
Right.
So
Mhm.
I still enjoy them all. So I literally just dabble in all. I do the podcast because I know for like the internet consistency is the best.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I might as well just pick a day and just go hard with it because
Mhm.
I feel like I'm always gonna find somebody to interview.
And you have been doing it well.
You have.
Thank you.
You
Thank
have.
you very much. Thank you.
It's very inspiring.
Franjez.com. Talk
No,
about it with
yeah.
Franjez.
Yeah.
Franjez.com.
Putting that in there.
Yeah, I need to get out of my own way with that. I
What's
do.
your problem though? Like bottle it up into like one
what
sentence. What's holding you
no,
back?
it's the transparency. It's being that vulnerable. But like you said, like just putting it out there and I could focus on one specific thing.
You don't have to be vulnerable, because you
Right.
focus on one thing. Like literally, let's say
Yeah.
your whole thing is podcasting. Everything you are is podcasting. You have your podcast, which you think is the best thing in the world, and you're going towards that, and that's your baby.
Mhm.
And you could teach everybody how to do what you did. Simple. You're over 100 episodes. People haven't even started one because they're
Yeah,
scared.
they're
I didn't get
scared.
past 20.
You can teach people how to start at one.
Yeah. But you know what's funny about that? I don't even know how I started this
Nah,
shit.
you do know. Just
I
gotta
feel like we
backtrack.
Natalie's
It happened
success story is
so-
going to be hilarious.
No.
Like, how'd you start? I just kind of opened up.
It was
and-
just like one thing at a time. It really is. It's so funny how like you can
Exactly.
just build this like, okay, first we just focused on microphones. And then like, okay, how to plug it in. Okay, what are we plugging it into? And then it like leads. It kept building and building.
Exactly.
And so it's just like, wow, it's really been a lot of little steps. But look at us now. Yay.
We're here
Great.
for 140
35, I
episodes.
think.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
It's a lot. You were close.
Yeah, I was close.
That's
And
a
it's
lot.
fun.
That's
It's
a
been
lot.
good. But you know what's crazy? I'm ready to take a step back a little bit.
No.
Back where?
This is when you should go. Remember what Jar said. Signs
Yeah.
are signs, man.
But that's the thing. I'm like, I don't know if it's because of I don't know if it's the weather affecting me, my mood. I'm just like over it. But I think like right now, I can honestly say we're being really transparent.
Mhm.
The way you're structuring this episode is great.
Thanks.
So we had a conversation. No,
Oh, damn. Are we
complete.
exposing
You
that?
want to hear about the journey? Let's talk about the motherfucking journey,
Oh.
okay? Let's talk about it. We were talking earlier, and I was like, okay, I do not like leading the conversations. I don't. I have so much more fun when I co-host on other people's pods. When I'm on your pod or even Yaya's pod, Yaya will come to my pod. I mean, will come
it's
to my
like,
house and
it's like when you go
record.
to another person's house and they host. You don't.
And I just
You're
like...
gonna do the dishes.
Right. She doesn't have to do the dishes.
I could just smoke my hookah and you could do the dishes.
She's not going to get her cooking judged because we had another person's house. She's like, it
No,
wasn't me.
but you know what? I think part of being a good leader, because I could be egotistical and be like, no, this is my shit. I'm going to run it. Da, da, da. I think part of being a good leader is also knowing when to take a step back and know what you're good at.
That's
Right.
gangster to be the person running the pod but not be the host.
That is fire.
That's pretty gangster.
It's just, I shine more when you just ask me the
You
shit and
think-
I don't know what the fuck is going
You
on.
guys are on two different levels though, because you're like that's so like it's so noble of you, and she's like, I just want to shine, bitch. I don't give a fuck.
No.
Now the host shines, but you don't want the responsibility
No,
to run it. You
because
wanna
I
you
get
wanna
in my
be
head.
in the convo.
So
You
then
I
wanna
she's-
get
be
in my
it.
head and I'm
She's
like,
like,
is
let
this
me-
good? What am I gonna ask next? Da, da, da. And it's like then I freeze and I don't say what I want to say. Fuck out of here. I'm gonna say
Let me
what the
just
fuck I
get
gotta
this
say.
guy to suffer then.
No. But you're pretty good at it so
Thank you.
far from what I'm seeing.
Thank
Am
you
I
so much.
bugging? Is he not leading the conversation pretty well?
100%.
Good
I
because
noticed what's happening. It was weird.
Oh, we
he was
didn't
like,
fill him in.
what's going on?
We
He's just
didn't
like,
fill
I'm
him
gonna answer
in.
whoever tells me
I'm
anything.
like, yo,
else.
this guy's running shit
He's
good.
good.
Like,
See?
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you so
I kind
much.
of like we didn't tell you because you were realizing it on your own, and
Speaking-
that's
like
the
it.
point.
Speaking of that,
doing good.
we're in the least favorite, bro. It is not the least favorite if we don't get a little toxic.
Oh my god,
Let's get
yay! Let's get
crazy.
toxic.
Let's get dirty.
Now I like that.
Wait, before we
Pause.
before we get dirty.
We weren't getting dirty, we were getting toxic, bro. It's
All right, so let's do it. What's the
all right.
toxicity about?
I saw this video on Instagram the other day, and it's like, oh, what is your favorite, which is weird, but bear with me,
Mm-hmm.
favorite toxic trait in a relationship. At first, I'm like, that's crazy. You shouldn't like anything toxic. Until I realized I have a favorite toxic trait. Hear me out. There's levels though. Like, don't actually be a psychopath. But like, a little jealous. Not gonna lie, it pleases me sometimes. But like when you're like, you hit me with some spice, like who's that? Like when you're not actually being like detrimental to the relationship, but it's
Right.
kind of like it's a little, you know.
Like I will fucking cut your dick
Yeah.
off right now.
if you say
That's
that
crazy.
though, but you don't mean it, that's dope.
Okay.
If it's when you mean it,
But I think it's meant still. It's regardless, it's meant.
how
but-
meant is it? Because I'm
I think it depends on how dramatic it gets
Right.
because it's good to know someone cares that much,
mhm.
but the toxicity is not good. Too much toxicity is not good.
When it gets
Yeah.
too much toxicity, so he says a little toxic, and you're good, ladies.
Yeah.
I agree with you though, but
Yeah, because too much is not fun.
yeah,
Too much is not
it's
good.
like you're the king of answering questions without answering questions. What is your favorite toxic trait, Frances? Don't make me say it again.
My favorite toxic trait. Let me throw this.
Well, why you think?
Yeah.
Mine was also the jealousy thing. I like it a little bit.
Why you think?
Why you think?
I know you like it
I like it.
because Natalie.
A little though. Nothing too crazy. Nothing
I'm not
too
gonna
crazy.
say the date because sometimes we don't release these episodes, but today is a Wednesday,
Uh-huh.
and we're glad we have you here. It's kind of an intervention,
Uh-huh.
Natalie. You're kind of toxic, honey.
I am. No, for sure. I definitely bring the toxicity in all of my relationships, but in like a healthy, fun way.
But you're gonna love it here.
Just to keep it a little spicy. But like no guy has ever complained. I've never been left with. I've never been left. And guys, they just be like, yeah, you are a little crazy, a little toxic, but I like it. They all say they like it.
Yeah.
So if you tell me you like it, I'm just gonna keep being me.
It's the Stockholm syndrome.
But I don't think, but I do know when to check because okay, I do have the level where I can get to a 10. You know, like I'm a
Mhm.
cool 3, maybe 4
On the regular,
on the regular. Something like, but
it's calm for.
when I'm at a 10 and I can have that, I'm like, no, bitch. You have been in therapy way too long. We not doing this. And you're way too grown now. So like reel it in. So I'll journal, smoke a little weed, and then I'm good.
That journal probably got like
My journal
indentations
got
from
some
how hard she
shit.
penned in.
My journal got some shit. Apple fucked up because they have the journal app now. Do you have it on your
Nah,
phones?
I don't know
I do
about
not.
that.
I
With
should.
the new update, it has a journal app, and it just makes it so easy for you to just do everything on your
But
phone.
it's different from the Notes app.
I feel like it's more user friendly, and it also gives you prompts. So like, I was the most grateful on when this happened to me, and then you'll like fill it in.
By the way,
And it'll show you pictures that you have in your thing, and it'll say, "Do you want to talk about this experience?" It's cool. I like it.
Apple is not sponsoring us in any way.
Nah,
No, they're not.
Just saying.
I overdid it.
Frances,
So your toxic trait, what is it?
My toxic trait, Jesus, where do
Yeah,
I
because
begin?
it's hard for me to
Damn.
even think of one. But the jealousy is easy
Yeah.
because it's what pulls on the heartstrings a little bit. So it's what makes you want them a little more.
Mhm.
That's too easy.
It's also
I
an
feel.
ego boost to you, knowing that somebody, cares that
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Yeah.
all right, let's talk about my fucking
deeper
issues
than
on
that.
the pod.
I would say I'm good at ignoring you. And
Ooh,
I'm good
same.
at shutting down. And so I'll say whatever the fuck
Good
I
at
have to
shutting
say.
down. I didn't think those two things would ever be used in the same sentence.
I'm good. I'm very good at that. No, like I'm just good at just
Windows
done.
97,
They call it
motherfucker, I'll shut
stonewalling.
down.
You ever heard of stonewalling? That's what they call it.
Mm-mm.
You just you're done. You check out completely from the conversation. So I'll say whatever the fuck I gotta say, and then I'm done. I'm done. Like
She
you
even
don't
hit us
get
with a-
any emotion
I hope you
from
guys are watching this on
me.
YouTube because she hit you with the shutdown face.
No, I'm done.
She said
I'm
Windows
done.
97
and I
in
will
this
ignore
motherfucker.
you, and I would just keep on going and keep on going. It'll be killing me inside, but I will keep on because I just can't. Yeah, I think it's just very avoidant. I don't like that about me.
Frances,
Yeah.
you never answered yet.
I don't really know. But is the question my favorite toxic
Your
trait about
favorite
to
toxic
myself?
trait
receive.
about another person.
To receive
receive.
from someone else,
I guess it's
it's the jealousy.
just the jealousy.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything deeper.
You know what that means? We're healthy people, except for Natalie. So
Yeah.
we're gonna
Because
be
the
okay.
risk of losing that person is what intrigues you.
Yes.
The most extreme that I've heard of the jealousy thing though, do you guys know Ari Fletcher? No.
Mm.
She was dating Moneybag Yo. I think she's still dating him. It's
Oh,
a
yes,
rapper.
yes.
She
yes.
says she likes the jealousy, but to a point where like he'll stick a gun out on her or something. Or no, it was
Oh.
I like when I'm packing my bags and I'm ready to leave him or leave you, and you stick out a gun on me like you're not going nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
and she like that. I'm like, what? That's crazy. Like that's extreme for
That's
me.
extreme.
All right. That's
Very-
I think
that's the
we're-
barometer.
We're all in agreement there. But how do you differentiate toxic traits and like toxic traits and healthy patterns in a relationship? Because sometimes people might I'll give you an example. Myself, actually, I think sometimes if you're trying to be supportive, that aggressive as supporting,
Mm.
you know what I mean? Like, well, it's because you're an aggressive supporter. Like it's like, yo,
Just do it.
I'm trying to
But
solve this.
I don't
Yeah,
know
just do
if
it.
I should fuck
Right.
that.
It's
Don't
like, yo,
think
bro,
about it. Just
every
do
day.
it.
Like it's not like you don't catch a breather. You'll get rest when you're done. Like get this done. 6 a.m. every day. You're waking me up mad aggressively, mad loudly. Frances, get up for the gym, bro. You said you wanted the gym. Get up for the gym.
Yeah,
Come on, let's go.
fuck
Let's
that.
go. Don't be
But
no
what about-
bitch.
Fuck
That's
that.
mad intense. Some days you just
I
want
will tell you to fuck off.
Like-
I'm not doing that. That's too much.
So what are you saying? I'm wrong for that?
No, you're not wrong. But then we're not supposed to be in any type of dynamic. That would drive me insane.
Like it's like that's a fact.
You know, I don't know where this came from, but it might have been from New York State Corrections when I was a
Oh, for
CO.
sure, I can see that.
It's the academy is military. You know,
Yeah.
the marching and everything, like to the T is military.
Oh, okay.
So maybe that's where it came from. I don't know.
No, I can see that.
But I feel like that's best case scenario. That's why
Mhm.
everybody's on the same page.
Mhm.
That's why I'm like that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the thing is like certain relationships are actually like toxic and people like romanticize it.
Yeah, for sure.
Romanticize
For
it.
sure.
Even romanticize
Toxicity?
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think it's having someone to have the toxic relationship with is what people really care about.
You also-
Nobody wants
yeah.
toxicity. It's having someone to have toxicity with.
But true. But
Right? That's
sometimes
pretty deep.
something the toxic trait that is pretty it's true. Because if you're toxic by yourself, where's the fun in that, right, Natalie?
That's pretty fun still. like, I'm not gonna say it's not, but
I promise
we
you,
make it work.
she's a good person. The thing about that is like you ever seen like very toxic couples and like I know girls, typically women, I'm sorry, but men do it too, where they like romanticize a relationship, whether typically fiction, like in shows or books, and the relationship when you think about it is extremely toxic. But they're like, wow, I wish I had a man like that, or I wish I had a girl like that. And I'm like,
Mhm.
yo, when you look at it, it's like, didn't he try to kill her, bro?
Yeah, he
Like,
did.
50
like-
Shades of Grey.
Well,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I've
no,
never.
that doesn't count.
It counts for this
Why doesn't it
conversation.
count? It's Natalie though, bro. You know?
Did you guys actually watch the movie?
No.
I've read all the books.
I
I
read
watched
the
the first
books.
one.
Oh shit.
Okay, good. Same.
Dirty boy.
Dirty boy. There
Right.
definitely was a lot of manipulation going on and aggression, but she liked that shit. And it was mostly like sexual. I'm not gonna say it was abuse, but it was a sexual thing. I don't think he
Wasn't
really did
abuse.
love her. He really
Oh,
did
because you
love
read
her.
the books, right?
Yeah, he read the books.
So isn't it like there's what is it, BDSM and stuff? So people
Yeah.
like that, like, you know,
Yeah, she was okay with everything.
She was down.
that's a little, would it be
But he
considered
was
a little
really
different, though?
controlling. Like he had like he would not stalk her, but he did have like her location. So he knew where she was at all times.
He was toxic.
So
Yeah, that was a little that's
that's a
He
perfect
came from a toxic background.
right.
You are what you know.
right. No one talks about that side of him because
So-
he was like
Yeah, no, right. They they're like he's so sexy, but it's like
because
he
he had
borderline
money,
beats her.
and we could talk about how money plays such a role because
My
he
man
had
had
her.
helicopters.
Yeah, he
Beat
would
the shit
fly
out
her
of me and fly me out
places.
to Houston and shit. Like I don't give a fuck.
Red Room, what? We in there.
It's
We in
like-
there.
But like if you
Dinner
have,
in Italy, like yeah.
that's why it's like fuck it. Like I think most girls would settle for that life if they're gonna be taken care of in
Didn't
that
we
way.
just-
So it's like.
I don't know if I
What
can't
the fuck?
describe
I don't
it.
even care. I don't want to be with the bum over here who's in the spot smoking hookah. Fuck
The bum
him.
over here
My
in the
man
spot
got a
smoking
jet.
hookah.
He bought
We
her a
out to
nice car,
Italy.
remember? He bought her a nice Audi.
Like we out to Italy. Fuck you.
Yo,
like,
just at me next time, bro.
the guy smoking hookah.
The guy smoking the
His
bum-
angel.
It's me. I'm not flying you out to Italy. I got a Yola that we might be able to like paddle, but you
We
know.
might take you to DR to see the fam.
Exactly.
So, how do you feel about dating a woman that has been through like a big vacations and all this extravagant shit?
Yo, you're asking me this question at the perfect point
I
because
know.
because you mentioned it before. Like you were being comical about it, but you don't want a woman that's gone through like everything. Like you see her like 1,000 times go on vacation and post them on Instagram if you have her before, or you know she tells you like, yeah, I've been there with my ex. I've been here with my ex. And it's like I don't feel like a woman should live her life. Or anybody should live their lives, and you can't judge them for the past. That is what they do. But I'm not gonna lie, bro. To some degree, it's kind of fucking whack when you're like, yo, let's go to Puerto Rico, you know, and you're having a blast. It's like your first time there and your first time with a partner. She's like, been here 3 times. You know what I mean? You're kind of like, coño. And then she's taking you all these spots. And I'm like, have you been here with Larry? So it's like,
Larry?
it's Larry. So it's like, damn. I think it's definitely, and I'll say that I probably would feel away, but it's definitely ego. And we shouldn't be that way, Frances. Because this is a podcast where
I
accountability
definitely
and
didn't ask you
self-reflection.
how we should be.
Okay.
I asked you how you feel about dating
It's
a
like
woman.
me versus
That
toxic.
her Instagram has 20 different
Are
vacation
you stalking me,
photos.
Frances? Do you
Who
see what I
cares?
see?
Like, this is, I'm going to just say my experience. I
Are you
feel like
stalking me?
I am.
I feel like you been right with me.
Are
this
you
past
going
week.
through this right now?
Are you going through
Kinda.
this?
Oh
That's what I'm
shit!
saying.
Sorry to cut you off,
No,
but
it's
let's dig deep. What
No, we're not,
happened?
Francesca.
No, he
Let's
cannot,
go.
because she's going to listen to this.
No, there's no
Yo,
she.
there-
There's no she. But I'm saying.
Oh, there's obviously a she
no,
unless
there's
you're
not
gay.
a she. There's not a she, Frances.
So you're gay.
No, well, it would be a she, but she's not there. You know?
No, I don't know.
What
Let's
the
get
fuck?
specific
Yeah, I
with
don't know
it.
what you mean.
Is
Because
I just
is
mean-
your new love interest all over Instagram?
Love interest is crazy, but there was a person that I was interested in, and I see her like.
so are you turned off?
No, but I'm
Okay.
kind of like, well, when are we gonna do it? You know?
But what does that mean? Because it's like,
Are you dating her?
No. It was just a joke, really, primarily.
I don't
just-
believe you.
I feel
yeah, I
like
don't
we're not
believe
here
you.
for that.
We're here
No,
for that.
we're
We're
not.
here for that
It's
right
fine.
now.
He doesn't have to. He
No,
doesn't want to.
it was a girl that caught my interest, and I'm like,
Let's get to the
killing me, man.
facts. How'd you feel about her? You're not
I
dating
don't
her
like
no
your
more.
franchise. I don't like
You're
it one
not
bit.
claiming her right now. You're not claiming her
He
right
didn't
now
like
because
it.
of what?
He didn't like it.
no, it's not like that. Damn, dude, it's just like a random person. Well, not random, but you're like, okay, she kind of interested me. DMs back and forth, and then you're kind of like, wow, she goes a lot of places. I found it kind of cool at first. I'm not gonna lie, and it is kind of cool. It's just kind of like the only thing that is kind of like a thing is like, okay, would we have a similar experience if we ever like traveled together?
But wouldn't that be up to you?
It would be up to you.
Because you're the guy and you should be the one.
Which is why
you
I
should
say-
be the one playing out.
Which is why I say
But
it's
you should be the one leading
just
that.
ego.
It
It's
is
just really
ego
just
because I feel like I'm not gonna say anything about being insecure or anything like that. Because I think women, they kind of lead with that, like, oh, you're just being insecure. But I do think that what was my point? Let me just bring it back to my experience real quick. So I have traveled a lot of places and I have dated people who be like, oh damn, you've been here, you've been there. But it's like a lot of times it was just with my girlfriend. And we wouldn't do, not my girlfriend like that, but like my best friend at the time. We would travel because it was like, if I have the money and I'm not going to put my life on pause just so I can do it with a partner.
Absolutely.
It's like,
That's why.
I'm single. I have a single friend. We want to go. Now, I make sure that I conduct myself in a way. I think guys start thinking, well, if you went with your friend, what were y'all doing? You was fucking a lot of
Wait,
men.
whoa,
you was
whoa,
no,
wait.
for real.
Straight up.
No, I know.
Straight
She just threw me
up.
off.
No, that's what
Absolutely.
it
Straight up,
is.
that's what men think.
You're in the
Damn.
most romantic setting.
It's
and
unfortunate.
you're out here fucking.
No, but it's
looking for
unfortunate because
Fabio.
that's not
Show
every
this man's
woman's.
face.
That's not every woman's experience.
That's
That wasn't
true.
mine. So it sucks that like whatever you've heard or you've seen from other girls, then you put that on me. So I think it's also just unfair because maybe a lot of the places that those women went and you see pictures, they could have been with their friends and they're just probably in that picture. It doesn't always mean that a guy took them or it could have been a family. You don't know. I think it's worth giving the benefit of the doubt in that situation. And again, the right man, the man who has money, who is able to kind of continue that lifestyle for her, he's not really going to give a fuck. Like, yeah, you went with him, but the places I'm going to take you, the things we're going to do is going to be 100 times better.
Oof.
You're going to have that confidence.
All right.
If you're
I
going to
like
be
that.
like, oh my God, you went there, I can't take you there. Like, shut up. That means you got to bring the vibe. If we go to the same restaurant, bring the vibe.
Hey,
You don't got it? You don't got the
She's
personality?
coming for your neck. It's
What
true. You
if,
got to bring
what
the
if he
vibe.
don't got it?
Then he's a
wrong
loser.
place.
Wrong
Whoa,
place.
wait, hold on. Damn.
What if he has a big heart?
Oh, bye. If that's not...
Why did he point at me when he did that though? Why he did that?
Bye. What I'm saying is the right girl then, she'll be like, you know what? I did do those things. You can't do it. Like, she'll work with him. But also, I don't believe that a woman should have to dumb it down for the dude.
But dumb it down.
Listen, if
Does
he can't
love matter
afford,
most?
if he cannot afford to take you the places you want to go as a woman, then don't be with him. Be with the guy that can do that for you. Instead of settling with that guy and then you're going to be talking shit about him, you're not going to be respectful. You're going to build resentment. Now you're in this dynamic for what? You don't want
That's
to be
true.
here.
Which
Match your lifestyle.
brings me to my next point.
But your lifestyle is mentally. It's not. It doesn't
It can be.
exist.
And
It's
based off,
not.
and based off of like your persona on social media, an example.
But if your
It's
mental's
fake.
good, think about you, right? You like the fine things, like you like a good meal. I feel like that comes with your mental. You know, I deserve this. I take care of myself. I work out, whatever. I deserve luxury and I deserve good shit. But that doesn't mean that like you partaking in those like luxurious activities, that doesn't make you like superficial or less
materialistic.
than or material.
I believe there's definitely a difference in somebody
So
enjoying.
that's the difference between men and women.
Yeah.
Because a man would have no problem bringing a woman to come eat better with me. I got
Right.
you.
All right.
But a woman's like, I'm not bringing you up.
Oh, that is true.
That's true.
That
That's
is
where
very
it's
true.
at.
But I think
That's
there's
very
a
true.
fine line between a person who's like materialistic and a person who just likes nice things. Like a person who's materialistic literally only like seeks nice things and like they want it just to have it because it's expensive or it's the best thing. But like you could like nice things and also not like certain things, you know, that you don't care
Mhm.
for. But if you do and you can provide that for yourself and you don't judge somebody off of like the material
Right.
aspect of it, I think that's okay.
Yeah. Someone doesn't have to be for you, but that doesn't mean that you treat them like shit.
Right.
You know?
I'm just saying the money thing is what makes it ugly.
I get it. But I think if
Yeah.
you really want a certain life for yourself, you shouldn't have to like not have that life if you feel like your partner can't meet that. Maybe in the future he could though. Like people can always turn it around, but you have to decide, are you going to be willing to wait it out and just support him through that journey? And
Of
if you're
course.
not, don't
That's
do it.
sad. Would you do that for a female? If she makes less than you, are you okay with bringing her up to you?
I don't mind
or
at all.
you prefer a woman that's making as much as you?
No, I don't mind at all. I prefer a woman.
That's the
I
difference
prefer a
between men
woman
and
who is looking towards progression. I don't mind where you are, but if I know that I see that you have, you know, you're trying to do things and
Mhm.
move forward,
Eat steak
Yeah.
with me.
of course, eat
Well,
steak.
a
with me.
woman says, if you can't afford steak, eat McDonald's.
Of course.
I'm gonna eat steak.
But
by
that's the thing.
myself, right?
I saw a video recently where it was
That's
like
horrible.
where it was like a
There's
woman.
got to be the equality. Money and value means nothing when
It
it,
wa-
comes to reality.
It was a
and the
podcast
future.
actually. It was a podcast, and the guy's like, "Would you date a guy working at McDonald's?" And she's like, "Absolutely not." It was like the immediate answer, and he was like, "Most guys wouldn't care as long as you know it's
It's
a
true.
girl worthwhile."
It's true.
And that's definitely true because I wouldn't mind. Again, if you're in progression, and it's about your mindset.
Yeah, but we have to bring it back to basics, okay?
What's
and
the
it's very
basics?
old school,
Talk
but it
about
is
it.
what it is because men
franchise.
want to be the leaders,
True.
right? But you also are the financial leaders, what you were supposed to, or that's how we have been programmed to see it,
Mhm.
right? You don't give a fuck how much I make, but I care how much you make because you're supposed to lead. And unfortunately, you have to lead with money in a lot of instances. So I need you to have it together. So you never having the progression. And again, I'm willing to wait it out with you while you figure it out.
Guayato yuca is what they say.
But a lot, what is that?
Yuca. It's like when you're
Uh-huh.
peeling a yuca.
Oh,
You know,
Yeah.
it's
that
that
takes
hard.
hours.
So you have to like.
To make pasteles.
It's pretty much like eat the dirt on the rise.
Yeah.
Like you have to go through your
yes.
struggles in order to rise.
Yes.
But a lot of women no quieren guayasu yuca.
No, because it's like,
They
especially
want
when
to do
you
what's already
reach
done.
when you reach a certain age too, it's like fuck that. Like I don't got time to wait around. Like I want a family. I want to whatever. I want to get married. I want this. I want that. You got to be on it.
That is a point though where it's like if you have a due date or you know you set yourself up with that, like I think that's what leads a lot of people into getting into something that they don't really that doesn't really work for them. You know what I mean? Because they're like, I need this. So you see a dude or a girl, you're like, they check most of the boxes.
Yeah,
No,
they're
you do that tira, and then you're like, oh, you know, no condoms, no birth control. If we have a baby, whatever, I'm trying to get married, all
Yeah.
that good stuff. And then you end up with terrible partners.
Terrible partners.
Terrible baby fathers and baby
Terrible
mothers.
partners.
And it's like,
what's the alternative? Being alone.
right. But if you're alone and you're progressing like you should be doing on your own,
You'll meet the person.
that can you might.
I believe
Or
you can meet the
might.
person.
I believe it. I believe
Might.
it too. Being the hopeless romantic that I am, but I think
Same.
everything comes in its time. And if you do things right, if you do things just to do them, I don't think they ever turn out right.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do things with intent,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to do things right. I believe to however that fits your
Yeah.
boat. But if you just do things like based off of like I'm getting older, this and that, it might lead you into the wrong things.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
It might lead you into
Everybody has a different timeline.
abusive relationships.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between abusive and loving? There's a fine line. You guys mentioned 50 Shades of Grey and you were like, oh, but they're into that. They like that. So there are some
Ugh.
things that are masked as love, but they're low-key or high-key abusive. Like when you gaslight your partner. When you love bomb a person. Love bombing is apparently, the kids are keeping me updated. It's when you like
Oh yeah, I know.
compliment them, you know, you're so loving and so lovey-dovey at first and you're perfect at first. And then you kind of like,
You just
You're
pull the
real- yeah, you
rug
just-
from underneath
Oh,
them.
every relationship?
ever.
Oh,
Wow.
shit. That was
In the
deep.
beginning, everybody is the,
No,
the
but this
perfect
is like
version of
completely
to
themselves.
cold.
an extreme,
Yeah,
completely
completely
cold and to
cold.
an extreme.
Like now
Like
you're
it-
answering calls or texts. You like
Oh,
are
Or like you
toxic as
totally
fuck.
flip it. You
Yeah.
go from Prince Charming
Asshole, just complete asshole.
instantly.
Yeah.
Can you guys? Well, I don't want to get too transparent since that's the word of the pod, I guess.
What?
But name a time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to actually give details, but I'm saying
Okay.
when you were ever low key being emotionally or whatever. Because remember, abuse is not only physical, emotionally or verbally or mentally abused. and it was masked as love, or you perceived it as love?
I don't know if I perceived it as love at this point, because I was in a relationship where the person was like stalking me.
That's not love.
And that was scary as fuck. And
maybe he was just trying to make sure you're okay.
No, don't do that. See,
no.
then you rationalize.
No.
Oh, he really cares about me.
It was a joke, guys.
No, so like showing up to my job at certain points just to see like how I was gonna get, because I didn't have a car at this time. I was young, just to see who was gonna take me home or how I was gonna get home, to make sure it wasn't a guy. I remember one time I ordered food and I didn't like it, and I had to go to class. I was going to Lehman at the time, and so I had a little bit of a break. So I'm like, you know what? We're together, and I was in his house, but I'm like, I'm just gonna go get more food because I don't like this. I threw it out. He followed me to make sure I was going to, where I said I was going. When we were breaking up, he signed up for my gym. He never had a gym membership. Signed up just to like show up and work out when I was working out. And I'm like, you don't even work out. What are you doing here? So it was just shit like that. The new person I started dating after him, he started like kind of harassing him and like fucked up the car. So it was a lot. It was a lot.
That's traumatic.
Yeah, that was a lot.
For the guy, that poor guy whose car got fucked up.
Yeah, no, for real. No, for me, yeah. And it's just, can I tell you guys how I knew it was him though?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Okay. This is very specific. I don't give a fuck. So the person I was dating, he loved Apple products. And I remember I used to make fun of him over it. Like, you love Apple. Like, you're a loser.
That's abusive right there.
No, but it would like be joking around. He was obsessed with Apple products. So he had an Apple sticker and he had put it on his car, like on the bumper. And I made fun of him and he was like, yeah, it's the iCar. Like, he said some dumb shit like that. And I always laughed at that Apple sticker and it was there. So I'm dating the new person and we go to the car. We're going out and both windows were bashed. Both of the, what do you call those? The side mirrors?
Yep.
They were bashed. And I was like,
rearview mirrors.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? And then he was like, I don't know what happened. Like, nobody has ever fucked. I don't have beef with anybody on this block. Like, who would do this? And it was in a parking lot.
Poor man was confused.
So I think a couple days later, we're going out again. We go to the car. The Apple sticker was on the back of the car. In the same spot that my ex had
Did
his
this nigga
Apple sticker.
Trademark it? Like,
I don't know, but
he
I
wanted you to know he did
remember
it.
walking by the car and I froze and I was like, what the fuck is that? And he was like, I don't know. I just came down one day and it was there and I left it.
Yo, he's like a Batman villain, bro.
And I was like, because that person didn't even have an Apple. Like the new person I was dating, he had Android. So I'm like, he definitely wouldn't do some corny shit. Like he definitely wouldn't do that.
That was some serial killer shit.
So I feel like he did the windows and then he left the sticker like that was me.
Like,
100%.
Yo.
And I was like, after that, nothing ever happened. My mom kind of cursed him out and told him to leave me alone. But yeah.
That's creepy.
It was crazy.
Hell.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Thank God you're out of that because that was wild. My man left the sticker like, I want you to know it was
I want you to know it was me.
That's wild.
One of the craziest things that happened to me, but it's still not solidified who it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. They were both from the Bronx. Bronx is crazy. It was one girl that I stopped talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Started talking to someone else. And then these random girls jumped the new girl on the train. And they were saying, oh, that's him. That's the one that's with him. That's the one that's with him.
You lying.
I still don't believe that's true, but that's the most extreme thing I could think of. But I still, to this day, I still don't believe.
We can get to the bottom of that, though. After this podcast is done, we got work to do, Frances.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let's do it.
I'm into detective work.
Let's do it.
I'm not, but I like it. That's wild to me. I always feel like getting physical, dude. And you know how we say like, oh, we're too old for that. I think we're always too old for. Like, you ever notice like some dumb shit we used to do while we were younger? I'm like, you really beat or fought somebody for that? Mm-hmm. And you're like, no, dude. The only way I'm fighting these days is for self-defense or to the defense of someone else.
100%.
I am not fighting for words. I'm not fighting for anything crazy. Like, if you physically damage my car and I see you, you might get fought. But like anything that is non-physical or like putting my safety at risk, I'm not fighting you.
My ego's out the window, bro.
Yeah.
You're fucking my car up, my insurance company got it.
Oh, yeah.
Do what you gotta do.
Dude,
I don't got time to eventually shit to escalate to somebody dying or I'm good. You'll be having weapons. I'm good.
No, that's true.
So I heard about this concept. I'm not a TikToker. Natalie put me onto TikTok.
Yes.
So I must tell you, I saw this and I was like, this looks like something Natalie was talking about.
TikTok is awesome.
So boyfriend dare. What's that? I'm about to find out. So the concept, I'm sorry, of boyfriend air is described on TikTok as the phenomenon where individuals feel less positive about their appearance after spending time with their boyfriends. Now, this is not hilarious, but it's ironic because I was speaking to one of my best friends about this. I asked her, I'm like, do you know about that thing where like, when you have men who very much care about their appearance and they kind of compete with their shorty to some degree, which it happens. Like, let's say I'm really into the gym, got a haircut once a week, bro. I do my nails.
You know what? I've always wondered what it would be like to date a guy like that because I've never had a guy
I'm grateful you don't, bro. But before you say it, they exist, dude.
100% they do. 100%.
Yo, and they will hate on the girl. Yo, si tú te pones un batidito acá, they're like, I'm like, it's because she look good. You don't want her looking good, and you know what I mean. And I like to impress other people. It's because they kind of feel like
they want to be
they're so much into themselves. So I'm not saying boyfriend hair has something to do with that, but I think they can coexist.
I never thought about that, actually.
What do you guys think of boyfriend air? The feeling of being less positive.
I agree with the boyfriend air. I think when you are a woman, I don't know what it is. Maybe just me. I'll speak for me. I won't even speak for all women. I really, in the beginning, I feel like I put so much energy into the relationship. And then I end up just like falling off my routine because like I just want to, let's just go out, or babe, let's just stay in bed and watch the movie together. And like, I'm going to make breakfast. And then it's like, we're just laying in bed, we're chilling, we're like doing just whatever together. And then I'm not working out. I'm eating like shit. I'm not drinking water. So then I start feeling like shit. And then I look and I'm like, damn, like what the fuck? Like all these months have passed by. 100%. I haven't been on top of my shit. So yeah, I definitely agree with the boyfriend. It's happened to me every time.
I think I didn't understand it until I saw it, and I'm like, yo, I think I've been a part of boyfriend there, like as the boyfriend, and I'm like, as soon as I heard the concept, I was like,
why though? Is it because they have more fun when they're single?
No, I think it's because they were like too involved, like. They were the type of person, and if you know who I'm talking about, you are actually absolutely great, actually. But they were the type of person who like invest themselves very deeply into the relationship. So I'm not saying that to me, I never thought that they looked or anything any different. But I could just observe. When you're paying attention to a girl, they have certain routines and they do certain things.
What were some of the things that you saw stop or that let you know?
She was very much into
smiling less.
No,
hanging out with her friends less.
No. It was more like physical and routine, like not just physical, but like you go from you dress very nice and you have certain outfits, like they were very cute, which is not an issue. But at some point, it just became like kind of gym wear and like lounge wear and chill stuff. And it's like it went from like doing your hair every 2 weeks to a month to doing your hair like every couple months when you could, or like a bit lower maintenance, which didn't bother me personally because I'm like. I don't really care, but it was something I noticed and I didn't think about. This relationship was years ago, bro. And I didn't think about it until Natalie brought that concept up to me.
Yeah, because
I was like, damn, could I have been like a part of it and I didn't know?
I definitely have been that. And I think it's just something where when you're single, as a woman, you upkeep way more.
Exactly.
Because you're single.
I got him already. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Right. Men do that too, by the way.
Men do it too. Yeah. But it's easier. I think you guys can still look decent for the most. Y'all don't get your nails done. Yeah. You don't wear makeup anyway.
You got much upkeep.
You're not getting a blowout.
No,
but you don't do like colors.
Haircut and clean clothes though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y que te bañe.
Shower and put some chapstick on.
And shave.
And shave.
Shave the little boy downstairs.
I'm done.
Yeah, so I noticed that, dude, and it happens again with men. I've been a product of girlfriend air, if that's a thing. Also, with the same relationship, where I was kind of like, at that point, Francis, because I'm getting a little older, right? I know I got a little maintenance to uphold, but I was very much into my gym stuff, and I was very much into my haircuts and stuff like that. And then I'm kind of like, I'm practically married. Like, I don't have to do that so hard. Now I try my best not to do that because not only do I like to look good for myself, but I like to make sure that my shorty's like into me. So I'm like, I have like certain things to keep up with.
No, so and I feel like that's really motivating too, because my boyfriend now, like he's gotten, like, I don't know, I feel like we both met and we were on some like grind mode because he does content too. So we were just like grinding. So we both look like bums when we got together, really. honestly. And I think throughout the relationship, we maintained the bumminess a little bit, but then we both kind of got to a point we were like, nah, we got to be our higher selves. So he's been hitting the gym. It's motivating me to want to go to the gym with him now.
See, that's not dope as fuck though.
It's fire. It's really
that's
good.
dope as fuck.
If it's sustainable, it's dope.
Yeah. So yes,
Yo,
that's the
but
thing.
how you were saying, you said you're different now. You're gonna keep everything up.
Mm-hmm.
But have you experienced a long-term relationship since you thought this way? Because that's the real
Yes,
deciding factor.
after her, there was another one. It was on and off, but throughout that entire experience,
That's
I
what
was
I'm
like,
saying.
I got to make sure she's. Now, granted, that doesn't mean like I'm not doing the aggressive supporting or the aggressive like productivity. It doesn't mean that you have to act like you're an actor and on a movie set all the time.
Right.
But it just means like don't let yourself fall off.
Keep your upkeep.
Rather than like me, for example, I'm not super crazy. I don't know, look a little crazy. I didn't fix my hair up, but I used to get a haircut every 2 weeks. That's just for me, and I'm a single guy. You know what I mean? That wouldn't change if I'm with a person. Aside from the fact that I want to look good for that person, I also like I have a certain image that I want to keep up at work and stuff like that. You know, you deal with people. When I look good, I feel good, so I want to keep that up. So if I look good, I feel good, and then on top of that, an example, we're dating, and when I look good, I feel good. Not only am me feeling good and that confidence gonna. Like, you're going to like that. You're also going to like the fact that I'm keeping up with myself.
But you see,
good.
I think that's the point that you are doing it for you because you're like, if I do this, I will feel good.
Right.
You're not doing it for your partner. So, yeah, I think when it's motivated by you, it'll be sustainable because you can't do it for somebody else.
Even like,
but you guys can lean on each other for support
like
through
you
it.
guys did.
Yeah. Like, he's more to the fitness, healthy gym stuff. And I'm like, I'd rather just cook and eat healthy. So there's a balance there because if I'm cooking, then both of us are benefiting.
Hear me out. Technically speaking,
yeah,
he's only doing 30% of the healthy stuff.
No, but the eating, because if I'm cooking and making the meals, then he's fine.
Oh, no. So he's 100%. He's great.
Yeah, so he's fine.
And you're just 70. All right.
No, yeah. I'm good with a little yoga stretch.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good with some Pilates in the crib.
I know who you are, but you're doing great. You're doing great.
I'm winning.
You're winning. What the kids call W's. You know what I mean?
It's a double.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
I don't know.
Where are we going?
I don't know, but that was great.
Are we done here?
Yeah, we're done.
I love that.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you again for following us on this journey. I hate saying the word journey, but
it is a journey.
It is what we are. You know what I mean?
It is.
Thank you, Natalie, for hosting us once again.
Thank you for hosting this
At this point, we kind of live here. We just don't pay rent type shit. Frances, always a pleasure,
minute,
brother.
thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Frances.com.
Frances.com.
This camera, that camera. Yeah, no. I'm not here for you, know what I mean?
So you can't support something that's positive, something that's uplifting people, empowering people